Look at us at the big table.
I know.
I feel like a big kid now.
I'm a big kid now. Is that pull-ups or pamper? What is that?
Fuck, I don't
And that was
That's pull-ups, right? Yeah. It's like if you're able to pull up and down your pants, you can go to the bathroom.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same jingle for
Which shit yourself.
the same music anyway as the Kids Are Us too.
That's what I thought.
Or
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome, everyone, to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members-only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Oh my God, who are those guys? It's not those guys again. Welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Extraordinary.
Coming to you from the I Am Rentin' space, which it might not be that much longer because Jeff's doing some workings. He's doing stuff. I don't know if it's going to be I Am Rentin'. So,
Yes.
But that's where we are in
Making
beautiful and historic
gold.
downtown Renton, Washington, coming at you boys. Episode number 106.
What?
106. Tonight's safe word, guys, is Toto.
The band?
It is the band.
Oh, good.
The Rains down in Africa, right? It was recently revealed that actor Rob Lowe, in the 1980s, he revealed that he cut a yacht rock demo with the band Toto.
Nice.
And my understanding is Toto was always sort of a studio band.
Yeah, like a famously.
Hugely sought after,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson and Cyndi Lauper, all these people,
Gee,
they were the
that's neat.
band, right?
Right, yeah.
So he joined them and cut a demo. I don't know how many songs they did, but he was quoted as saying, "There was a minute in the 80s where I was definitely doing too much Bolivian marching powder and just being a fucking lunatic." And then he also relayed this funny story. I guess he used to live out in Malibu, and he deep into Malibu. And Warren Beatty kept inviting him to these parties at his house back in Beverly Hills or something. Well, Rob Lowe was like, "I don't want to drive all the way to fucking Beverly Hills. It's far. It's a long drive." So one night his girlfriend went. And if you send your girlfriend, apparently, even if she's dating Rob Lowe, if you send your girlfriend to Warren Beatty's house, it's now Warren Beatty's girlfriend.
Oh, meanie.
So he talked about losing his girlfriend to Warren Beatty. Oh my God. Aforementioned episode
Malibu's
106.
nice, though. Malibu's nice.
Malibu's nice.
Malibu's nice.
If you can, if not right now, probably.
Oh, shucks, yeah.
That's right. It's on fire.
Boys, I thought it'd be fun if we did the greatest GenX TV commercials for this
Right on.
episode. Because they're stuck. They're stuck in our subconscious. Some of them down deep, and some of them we quote on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, all the time. Yeah.
I was going to say the singer for Toto is the son of John Williams.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
The
Star Wars,
No, the composer?
Superman.
No, I did not know
At
that.
all. The multi-Oscar award-winning.
Oh, for sure.
The guy who basically who made music for all of Spielberg and Lucas, yeah.
That's a great gig.
No, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's fantastic. But I didn't know that tie-in. That's neat.
And I only found this out recently that he's also the singer for the theme song to the Disney's Gummy Bears cartoon.
The lead singer of Toto?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh man, that's just a side. That was a Thursday, night side job. Here's $2,500.
Boys, before we jump into the commercials, though, I did have a couple of quick headlines, a couple of rest in pieces that just hit today. Bob Uecker, nicknamed Mr. Baseball, died at 90. He was back in the day, like in the early 50s to mid 50s to early 60s. He played for 6 years. He was a very mediocre mediocre baseball catcher, meaning he only batted like 200 for his entire career. But he became sort of a everyman, and he was a jokester, so everybody loved him. He was a great guy.
Good media.
I knew him from his sitcom.
Yeah.
What?
But first he became a Hall of Fame radio announcer for the Brewers. Long-time Brewers, and he got to join the Baseball Hall of Fame. But what Todd's talking about, most people probably know him as Mr. Belvedere, the dad on that show.
What?
Yes. Do you remember Mr. Belvedere?
I don't think I had seen it, but I know what you mean.
Often.
Yeah. Because he was like a butler guy, like a big butler dude.
He was the English butler dude that lived with his family.
Yeah.
Bob Uecker played the dad that was like a sports writer or something. But,
Geez, I didn't know that. So he ventured into acting.
Oh yeah, he started showing up on like Johnny Carson, and they had a blast every time he came on. So that sort of parlayed him into the acting world, where they gave him his own sitcom.
Jeez.
So he did the Mr. Belvedere in the 80s, which is
and I remember mostly from ads, right?
Yeah.
When I think of sportscasters from my youth or whatever, he doesn't really come up.
No, I mean, for us.
But he was around. He was a personality.
Yeah.
Geez, but rest in peace.
Yes. And another one, Mike, I'm sure you've heard the news, but David Lynch passed away.
Yeah.
I think he was 78.
Yeah.
Something like that. Celebrated director of avant-garde films, Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive, The Elephant Man, and of course the TV show Twin Peaks, which you are a big fan of, right?
Yeah, and just he was able to express how he saw things.
Yeah.
Right? And kind of let us in on the inner workings of David Lynch. I think he's fantastic.
I've seen all of those. I did not watch Twin Peaks, but I've seen all those movies. And one thing he said is he likes to put images into his films that make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's part of the art, right?
So
to get that reaction.
Yeah, because the art is not necessarily to be enjoyed. Right, just like life is not meant to be enjoyed. Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's value in all sorts of different experiences.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just some are not worth the price, right?
Yeah.
But
geez, so rest in peace.
Yeah, David Lynch is amazing.
David Lynch.
Rest in peace.
Geez, I might have to watch a little. I might watch Mulholland Drive because that's such a bizarre. I mean, they're all bizarre, but I might just
or Lost Highway.
Or Lost Highway was
man.
a good one.
I saw Lost Highway at the Supermall.
Oh, really?
Their theater, and it was killer.
Yeah.
And just the sound. There's a scene where there's like a spider crawling up the wall, and the sound is intense in that film.
Are you talking about the Mullen in Auburn?
Yeah, Supermall and up. Yep.
They don't call that
the Outlet Collection. Now,
so that was the 90s then? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, when they had the Super Universe.
I think
or
that's
whatever,
the only time I've ever been there.
Yeah.
I never went to that place in the 3 or 4 times that I went. It was like this massive mall with like 4 shops.
Yeah.
I was like, no, seriously.
Yeah. I don't know. Make those a treehouse center, dude. That's where you can make apartments in there.
Yeah, right? Sure.
Dude, yeah. I think what they should do with those, and I've seen this on the internet, where they should turn old malls that have been like derelict or whatever, turn them into old folks' home for GenX, and put in all those old shops that we like.
The 80s
kids.
malls.
No, yeah. Or it's Julius with raw eggs. Bring it back. Can I get the egg cream?
I never did that. That was
the hats.
I always thought putting raw anything in food was gross.
It's a terrible idea.
It's a horrible idea. Are they pasteurized? I don't know.
No, but once it gets past your colon, you're okay.
Because other things want to live and thrive here, not just humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them live from humans.
Inside.
I saw a video yesterday of somebody eating E. coli, and I don't recommend it. And she's like, "Yeah, can you I need to wash this down. You got some milk?" I was like, "Yeah, this is unpasteurized milk. Here you go." And I'm like, "Oh my god, she's gonna spend the rest of her week in the bathroom." Oh my god, no thanks.
I don't know. Good luck to anybody.
Assuming she lived, yeah.
Because intestinal troubles. I've had intestinal distress for years at a time.
Oh man,
no lie, dude. I don't wish it on people, but I was drinking the water out of the fucking one spigot. There's one spigot on my block in Delhi. One spigot. So all
everybody.
the locals that just keep pushing me out of line. Take me 2 hours to get a sip of this motherfucker. Anyway, and you can't share glasses because it's all taboo. But anyway, I was drinking that. It's like, but I also ended up like
Oh, man.
for, like 7 years straight. But it was cool, and I got local fast.
Yeah.
So it was worth it. The poop was worth it.
The poop was
Because you
worth
just
it.
get local, because that's what the locals are doing.
Yeah.
It's deli, bro. It's not nice deli.
Isn't it called New Delhi?
The new part is. Yeah, the old part's not.
Old Delhi.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, speaking of Orange Julius and Malls boys, getting to some TV commercials. Some of the earliest ones, we were all born in the very early 70s.
Yep.
We don't look a day over 40, I know, but the very first one that comes to mind in the 70s. I was thinking the Coca-Cola. I'd like to buy the world a Coke.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. And that came from a song called "I Like to Teach the World to Sing" in perfect harmony.
Do you know the group?
Yeah, well, it was written by Roger Cook and Roger Greenway. It was sung by Susan Shirley in the 60s. Just a,
Yeah, I mean, it's
soft little pop
Sure,
song.
who's mad at it?
Yeah. So those two songwriters got together with a U.S. Advertising executive and a U.S. songwriter to change the lyrics into the Coca-Cola one that we all know. And it was so iconic because it was like all these hippie kids were going up on this hill, this grassy knoll, and like holding, just fucking hugging each other, like high-fiving and like, but it was multicultural. Which wasn't normally done.
We Are the World as well.
Oh yeah, this is 1971, guys. This
the
is
year I was born.
Todd and I were born this
Yeah,
year.
that even, I don't even think Sesame Street was there yet, right?
69 was when set.
All right, well, so they learned it from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the
my
way,
God.
Sesame Street is not being canceled. It's not going away. They just don't have a streaming service to have it on anymore because it's going away off of Max. They're still around. They're not owned by anybody but Television Workshop.
Nice. Boys, 1972, you guys all remember this, but Mikey likes it, right?
No, how dare
Life
you.
breakfast cereal. This was one of the longest continuously running.
Yeah, that ran into the 80s, man. I remember
12
that.
years or more.
Yeah, it ran as long as MASH did.
Yeah.
Fuck you, MASH.
Little Mikey, none of his brothers wanted to eat Life cereal, so they just said, let's give it to Mikey, who's their younger brother, who was probably like 3 or 4 years old, right? Couldn't really talk. And then Mikey was like, oh, this shit's good.
He's like, Mikey
And
likes
then
it.
by the time the brothers got to it, was a soggy mess.
Yes, that's the trouble with life in general and Life cereal. It's like if you don't act, it's not
And
as
poor
good.
Mayor Mike probably had to hear that every day
all the
at
time.
recess.
Yeah.
That's an effective ad campaign.
The boy was played by a kid named John Gilchrist, and it first aired in 72, like we talked about. Ran for 12 years, and most of us at our age know the urban legend surrounding Mikey.
I don't actually.
Oh, you don't? So it was rumored that he ate a bunch of
became-
Pop Rocks. He swallowed them and then drank Coke, and his stomach exploded and he died.
Oh, I do vaguely remember hearing that.
And that
it's not
was
like
like-
a.
So good.
Such a bullshit thing that never happened, but because we don't have Google back in
Yeah,
back
you
in
know,
1980.
nowadays it's
That was
just,
the
it's-
original Breitbart.
now it's just Mentos
Bullshit.
and Diet Coke.
Mentos and yeah, you do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys. Okay.
I saw a video of someone who made homemade Pop Rocks, and they had this giant brick of it, and they put it into like a tub. Or no, it was in one of those large water things, and they put it inside it, and they just poured a bunch of Coke into it, and just watched it kind of like started bubbling up.
Yeah. Jeez. Also in the 70s, boys, AlkaSeltzer was a big thing, and the slogan. I didn't really remember this. I kind
do.
of did, but I can't believe I ate the whole thing. right? So the guy wakes up in bed. And he's like, I can't believe I ate the whole thing. And then he goes.
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember saying that with like my brother. So just
I always laugh because to me the jingle sounded like someone who had to go pee and poop. Like, plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
I fucking love it.
What a relief it is.
Genius.
He just relieved himself and he emptied his bowels too, so he's good. That's how I.
That was always a thing, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Plop, plop, fizz,
I think
fizz?
one time I was sick as fucking. I had AlkaSeltzer and it cured me. And I was just like,
Isn't that all that's doing is introducing like carbonation into your stomach, so you're basically forced to like burp up or whatever?
I think no, that's just the gimmick to get you to buy their group of medicines. Just like
because it
Contact
just dissolves in water.
They just had their like low grade amphetamines or whatever they were. I don't know.
I don't know what it was.
Antihistamines and some other shit that make you feel decent.
All I remember with AlkaSeltzer
work.
was people saying never feed AlkaSeltzer to seagulls because they will explode.
And of course, young Todd's out there.
No,
Take this.
I absolutely did not because it was one of those, I don't want to kill a bird.
Not at all. Yeah. I don't know if that's so or not. I guess that's a Snopes question, right?
Oh, dude, I had to Google. I had to look up on Snopes something yesterday. I was so mad. I had to leave the internet for like 4 hours. Someone was going on about how my colitis, whatever that is. Is that how it's pronounced?
I believe so.
It's basically saying that COVID is causing that in young people. And I'm like, no, that's not fucking true. They're like, yeah, it is. Here's a video that's proof. It's like, just because someone recorded them saying that's true doesn't make it true. I can record any fucking thing. And I said, not only that, there are people in the world who believe that JFK is still alive at 102. No.
And doing well. He's throwing poop at the wall because they put his brain into a monkey.
Man.
But no, I found the Snopes article about that thing, and I said, this is why it's not true. Read this, and I posted the link, and they're like, well, that's just woke agenda bullshit. I'm like, oh my god, are you fucking retarded? Yeah, I can say that because I spent 12 years in special ed, so leave me alone.
Man. Boys, you'll know this one for sure. My baloney has a first name.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
OSCAR.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just a handcrafted.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It was started in 1973 as a TV commercial that featured 4-year-old Andy Lambros holding a fishing rod and a sandwich while
I remember that, yes.
Became one of the longest running TV commercials in the country.
Sure.
Yeah, just...
I mean, come on. Come on. It does exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And it just never leaves.
It never
leaves. That song will never leave my head.
Yeah.
Like if I ever get captured by the commies, then I'm just going to sing that over and over and over, drive them mad.
And you know
that's
it's
how I'll win.
Effective because as soon as you see that logo, it starts playing in your brain.
Oh, yeah.
You walk in, you see the fucking Wiener Mobile, and it starts going off.
Have either of you ever seen the Wiener Mobile just out and about?
Not close, no.
Not that I could.
About 2011.
Whatever car I'm in.
About 2011, I saw it parked in a parking lot in SeaTac.
Yeah.
And I walked up to it, and there's a sticker on it that says, looking for drivers,
Yeah. They're always looking for people to drive around.
And I applied to be a Wiener Mobile driver, and I didn't get it because I don't think I had the right qualifications, which is like having that endorsement on your license that allows you to drive a large vehicle.
Like a B or C.
C endorsement, yeah.
Wiener Mobile addition to your license.
It's a W.
It's a giant W.
On your license.
I thought it'd be cool because basically you're paid to drive around the United States.
Yeah, and I think you have to do like setup demos or events and stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be a fun job.
On the CB and the special rare.
I mean, could you just imagine driving down the road and all the kids like?
Yeah, nobody's mad at you, dude.
What are you doing over there, Charles? Are you eating a hot dog or what?
Yes, eating hot dogs. Boys, this has been parodied mostly in the 80s, but it was a huge parody. I think it showed up on every parody thing, Mad Magazine, the whole thing.
Oscar Mayer,
1979, Mean Joe Green from the Pittsburgh Steelers had won the Super Bowl.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And this kid comes up to him and he's like, Mean Joe Green, Mean Joe Green. And he's like, "What, kid?" He turns around and the kid like offers him a Coca-Cola.
Oh,
and he drinks it down, and then he goes, "Thanks, kid," and he hands him his like dirty jersey. And the kid's like, "What the fuck you want me to do with this nasty?"
Mom, this old guy gave me his T-shirt.
Do my laundry. I'm going to Disneyland.
Nice.
Please tell me he was wearing more than just a shirt.
This is widely considered to be one of the best television commercials of all time. Mean Joe Green had this persona because he was a tough football player, just a badass on the field, and he had this this perception that he was just this mean guy, like he just dour. And this made him change to more hospitable and approachable and all that stuff to the nice guy. One of Mike's favorite commercials of all time, and I know this because we talked about it before, 1978 Chuck Wagon television commercial.
Yeah, the little.
It's like Ray Harryhausen for 8 seconds.
I mean, I think it probably was actually.
It featured the dog food's now classic premise of a determined hound dog continuously chasing after an elusive wagon displaying the Purina logo throughout the home.
Oh my God.
And I had to watch like 2 or 3 of those commercials just to kind of get back into it. But the wagon would always like disappear in that bad 70s special effects into the cupboard, and then somebody would reach down and open up the cupboard, and it'd just be the can of Purina or the bag of chow or whatever.
Kind of a haunted bag of chow.
What's funny is that Purina logo is the five red squares and the 4 white ones. They made fun of that in Family Guy. The one where they did, I think it was Empire Strikes Back. Is that the Purina logo on your jacket? And he's like, yeah, I think so.
That's right, because all their little insignias,
their pips were like the variations on that, and the one guy had the Purina logo on his chest, and he's like, "Is that the Purina logo on your shirt?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Nice. Oh boy, you guys will remember these Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent forest fires. Smokey the Bear, that was big.
Smokey Bear.
I had a Smokey the Bear patch on my
It's one of those
school backpack.
It's one of those Mandela things. Is it Smokey the Bear or is it Smokey Bear? And it's Smokey Bear.
I always describe him as Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear,
yeah.
Smokey.
Either way.
It doesn't really matter. I'm just saying that's one of those Mandela things.
Yeah, so tons of ads, and I just remember him coming out, and there was always somebody that like threw a lit cigarette out into the brush or a lit match.
Or their chains weren't correct on their trailer. Scraping
the concrete and kicking up sparks and stuff like that.
That's a thing.
It actually is, It very much is. And then also in the 70s, the Crying Native American.
Was that 80s? I thought that was 70s.
That's 70s for sure. Oh, yeah. In the polluted waterway, or no.
So he was walking around, and the guy wasn't even Native American. I think he's an Italian.
How dare you?
I can't remember his name. I was going to look it up.
Well, he is an actor.
But he is an actor, and he had played a Native American in a ton of old westerns in the 50s and 60s.
Wasn't the guy that played Tonto?
No. Different cat, but yeah, just the commercial. He was walking around all these different places, probably like in downtown San Francisco or something. I think he was all over the place.
There's a
montage, maybe.
There's a bunch of different ones, and the one that I always remember is like he's standing on the top of a hill looking over like a junkyard or something, and it's just
trash everywhere.
And it's a single tear coming down his cheek.
Yeah, effective.
And that was. I mean, not anywhere near the amount of trash, pollution, stuff that we make today.
Yeah.
We just deal with it now to some degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back then, it really was just like, regulations are bad. It's the commies. They want to regulate me just dumping shit. Remember, rivers were catching on fire.
Yeah.
In the U.S.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the Russians still do
gross.
that.
Well, and we now have that plastic island out in the Pacific somewhere.
Yeah.
That's just mine, actually. I'm gonna claim it.
Can you build a house on it?
Insane.
It's insane. Well,
but then we'll come up with some gray ooze that'll want to eat that Just let the ooze get it.
until the ooze wants to eat us.
Yes.
And then we'll have to introduce snakes.
Fucking
and then we'll have to
nano-ooze.
introduce
Yeah.
mongoose.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to introduce hawks.
Yeah.
And then pumas. Just never ending. Jump into the 80s, boys. Max Headroom. Do you remember Max Headroom?
And it started
And
as
his
a
Coke ads.
It was advertisements before it became a TV series.
Yeah, and then he became the global spokesperson
What?
for New Coke. Remember New Coke was the thing? Appearing on many television commercials with the catchphrase, "Catch the wave." But I never got into Max Headroom.
I did. I liked Max Headroom. I used to watch that show when I was a kid. I liked.
Was that on MTV or was that on something else?
It was on
It's
it was on one of the
NBC
three big
or
ones.
something.
It was on like NBC or CBS, one of those three.
And didn't somebody interrupt a national televised broadcast as Max Headroom and took over the airwaves for 30 seconds?
I think as be kind of tie into the new TV show coming, they did kind of a promo like that.
Yeah, I thought it was like an actual pirated something.
Yeah, under the monitor.
Oh wait, no, that was part of the TV show though. They did stuff like that. It was a pirate. It was a pirate network, and he was part of that.
I swear there was
You can
a
watch
real-
it on. I think Max has the Max Headroom show.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Max. It's either Max or it's Paramount Plus. One of the two.
Not to be outdone, but in '84, Pepsi became the choice of a new generation and featured pop icon Michael Jackson. Yeah. And there was that commercial with Alfonso Ribeiro, where he was like the young Michael. He was doing the dance.
Is that when he got injured, or is that something
Well,
else?
he also did a commercial where he did get injured. He was filming a commercial where he and his brothers were on stage dancing, and one of the lights popped and the sparks hit his head, and he kept dancing for a few minutes and didn't notice it.
And fucking lights.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's like, the show must go on.
I mean,
Dad's watching.
Yeah, right. Joe was going to be like, "Don't stop dancing, Michael."
It did leave him with second and third degree burns on his scalp and his face, which
I wonder
But
if
that wasn't for Pepsi. That was for
Pepsi.
Oh.
that was Pepsi.
It was part of that whole campaign. But then there was the other commercial where he was in the street and he's dancing, and then Alfonso was out there.
Alfonso was out there dancing, they were break dancing. They were dance
But he had the red jacket.
He was wearing the Beat It jacket, and he's out there dancing, and Michael shows up and dances with him. And the kids are like, "Whoa, it's really him!"
That's nice.
Nice, yeah. Jeez. 1984 also had one of the coolest commercials of all time, the Apple Computer Big Brother commercial that aired during the Olympics. Do you remember this, Mike?
I vaguely remember. I actually seen it since then, but I don't remember seeing it when it came out.
So it was all everybody's very drone-like because Big Brother's watching.
It was very much 1984.
George Orwellian, and then somebody breaks free, and I don't remember if it was a hammer or something they threw, and it shattered the thing.
I remember that.
But it was a very effective commercial that broke
And it's a Ridley
Apple.
Scott at his prime, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, I do remember that, and I feel like I've seen it since, because I was a Ridley Scott since the Blade Runner.
They talk about it all the time. Yeah.
Is that the one ad he did?
I don't know how many ads he did.
Yeah. I don't know. Blade Runner's enough for me. But then he also did Alien, right? And I'm a Ridley Scott.
Didn't that came out the same year as the movie 1984? Didn't it?
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons they did, because it was 84.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and it was the Olympics. So that was the LA Olympics, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Geez. 1984 also brought us Where is the Beef? Remember the old ladies with the Where's the Beef?
Where's the beef?
Yeah. The ad was originally titled Fluffy Bun, and it was an elderly woman played by actress Clara Peller receives a burger with a large bun but comically small patty from a fictional competitor, which uses the fictional competitor to use the slogan "Home of the Big Bun."
Wasn't that Burger King?
It was a Wendys commercial.
Oh, okay,
yeah. The director wanted Peller to say, "Where is all the beef?" But Peller was unable to say the original line because she had emphysema, so she was having a hard time getting the words out. So instead of "Where's all the beef?" she just said, "Where's the beef?" And then they just stuck with that because I think it's actually better.
It's way
She
better.
rewrote it. She should have got a writing
Three
credit.
syllables. If you can do it in 3 syllables, do it. 3 syllables.
And sometimes the writing is a lot, so you know it can be kind of cumbersome.
Yeah, and she got her start at the age of 80. It's never too late for us boys in TV commercials. She was cast as a manicurist in a commercial for a Chicago barbershop, and then the director, somebody had seen her and go, that's who we want to be in this commercial. She made actor scale wages for the initial commercial. She made $317.40 for that first commercial.
I recently rewatched an old movie, and her and another woman who was in a lot of commercials back in the day were both in it. It was License to Drive, I think it was. No, it was the one where these people had to go to like traffic safety school, and they had to get their license back. And I'm drawing a blank on the name of the movie now, but she was in it. She was one of the drivers who had to go to traffic safety class to get her license back.
Nice. So she says that all in all, with all the subsequent work, she did a lot of spokesperson events and stuff like that, that she made a total of $30,000 in profits from all that. From
Nice.
product tie-ins, all the stuff. Wendy's claims that she made a total of $500,000 for the work that she did. She denies earning that much. But she went on because she didn't sign like a non-compete where she couldn't do other commercials as kind of herself. So she went on to do a Prego commercial where she said, I found the beef.
Oh, I remember
Because it was the meat sauce in the Prego.
The movie was Moving Violations, and it had John Murray, one of Bill's younger brothers.
She died in 1987. Oh, she did get fired from Wendy's from doing the commercials because she did I found the beef, and they didn't agree with that, so they fired her. And then she passed away in 1987, just a few years later. But
well, she hit the
big
taste
time,
of it.
man.
Oh, yeah. And I bet she showed up on a late night talk show. Or something, just to be a character, right? Yeah, geez.
I think she may have done other. I mean,
she got paid $300 in '84. Still was jack shit.
Yeah, she was in Moving Violations. Let's see, I can probably find her in here. What was her name?
Peller.
Oh, here we go. She played Emma Jean. She was born in 1902 and died in 87. She was also in the Stuff and WrestleMania 2.
Okay. Man.
And Amazing Stories.
She had to wrestle Hulk Hogan. And he's like, check out these pythons. And she's like, where's the beef? Where's the beef?
Yeah.
Grabbed his crotch and was like, where's the beef?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did we talk last week about him getting booed at Monday Night Raw?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is so funny.
Boys, you'll remember these because everybody does. In 1986, the California Raisins were a fictional rhythm and blues animated musical.
And they ended up getting a series or something as well.
They got
TV, movie, albums.
They had a cartoon series on Saturday morning.
The lead vocals were sung by musician Buddy Miles, who also was Jimi Hendrix's bassist in a band of gypsies. And what he did... wasn't Sly in the Family Stone. He was in some other band. I can't remember, but they were popular from 1986 to 2002 through claymation TV commercials and animated specials. They won an Emmy Award and got a nomination for another. It all started in 1986. Sun-Maid commercial. The advertising execs were sitting around. It's like, we've tried everything except singing raisins. And somebody was like, bing, let's do singing raisins.
Let's do singing raisins.
Just nuts. I just remember heard it through the grapevine, and that kind of ruined the song.
No.
Poor John Fogerty. Oh my God. Todd will want to talk about this one because he's a big fan of this one. But McDonald's Mac Tonight, originally conceived as a promotion to increase dinner sales just in Southern California. Mac Tonight's popularity led McDonald's to take it nationwide on August 27, 1987. He's the dude that had the crescent moon
Oh, yeah, it's a head.
as a head. Sunglasses, piano playing, and he always sung the song Mac the Knife, which was made
Doug
famous.
Jones.
Yeah, the actor that voiced him or acted him.
He was the guy inside the mask. Yeah.
Is Doug Jones? Of
Doug-
course. Of
Yeah,
course.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his first acting gigs, too.
Is it his voice?
Oh, no, it was voiced by Brock Walsh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he was inside the costume, but somebody else did the singing.
Yeah.
And I think they also, didn't McDonald's get sued by, like, whoever sang Mac the Knife?
Well, it was Bobby Darin did the original version of that, but I don't know if he sued. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too close to Bobby Darin.
Is Bobby's the first?
I don't know. It
I
just
don't know
said
either.
made
He does a great
popular
job,
by
though.
him.
I do like Bobby Darin, man.
Because I thought that was,
doesn't need my support.
fucking, what's his name?
He'll sing.
Sinatra. I thought it was Sinatra that sang that.
No,
I
definitely.
bet he has.
Probably everybody's sung it,
Oh, yeah.
but maybe Bobby Darin made it the most famous. Made famous
That
by
could have Razzle
Bobby
Dazzle.
Darin, yeah. Boys, you'll like this one. The PSAs from 1987, which showed a man in a kitchen who asks if there is anyone out there who still does not understand the dangers of drug abuse. He holds up an egg and he says, "This is your brain."
Oh, jeez.
And he cracks it and puts it in the frying pan. "This is your brain on drugs."
Any questions?
Yeah. And then they updated it, I think in 97 with Rachel Leigh Cook, where she was like, this is your brain on drugs, and this is what it does to your family, and this is what it does to your whatever, your life, and all that stuff. Any questions? And she smashed everything in the kitchen. I think they
Rachel
did
Leigh
it.
Cook did. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she went into a crazy rage.
Ain't no lie, addiction's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Did you guys ever see the anti-marijuana advertisement where it shows the person like deflating on the couch and it was just like an empty?
They had a bunch of
Sounds
those in comics
familiar,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And it's like, and
I'd say
everybody
that
I
was
know
in the 90s,
who
yeah.
smoked weed goes, I saw that commercial and could not stop laughing because of how ridiculous that was.
Reefer madness.
Yeah. Couch lock. It's a whole type of weed, though. Don't pretend it's not. Oh, man.
Oh my God. Boys, Nike came up with their biggest, and they still use it today, I think, but 1988, the Just Do It came out, and it was super highly successful.
Wasn't it like tied in with like the Air Jordans too?
I don't know.
I think Air Jordans were a little bit before that, but yeah, I'm sure
That's all part of it.
tie it
right?
all together. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they really built each other.
I mean,
They really did.
I remember, I think you're right because I got my first pair of Air Jordans a year after they became a thing. I got last year's model basically in '85. So yeah.
You still have them? They're probably
No,
worth a
I
ton of
don't. No.
Zillion,
Yeah.
bazillion
No,
dollars.
I mean, when I was a kid, I would wear shoes until you couldn't wear them
Oh,
anymore.
yeah. Which, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Which it wasn't necessarily a good idea.
Yeah.
And I had one pair of shoes until they were dead.
Yep.
And then I got a new pair. And it
Yep.
wasn't like today I have 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. I have my Crocs that I always wear, and I have a couple other pairs that I sometimes wear, but more often than not, I'm wearing my Crocs.
Yeah.
'Cause
When Dad was like, "Oh, you could just wrap another little strip of duct tape on there. You'll be fine.
There's some tape on
You'll be fine for another week."
or putting the Wonder Bread bag inside your shoes to keep you from getting wet in the wintertime.
Jeez. I mean, in that time frame for me, it was Chucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cheap Chucks, and you
Or
get different colors.
The knockoff ones,
yeah.
right?
And then mix and match.
Yeah,
I
because you
had
get Chucks
cool-
for $20 for a long time.
Yeah.
20 or less.
I didn't have my
It's
first
heavy,
pair of
heavy,
Chucks
heavy.
until I was like nearly 30 years old.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wear them today because they're just not comfortable enough for
And I
me.
did a lot of Army surplus stuff.
Yeah.
I try not to buy used shoes. I have, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah. Fungus is
not into it.
shitty.
Yeah, it is. Not cool, dude.
Speaking of Nike, though, did you guys see the Air Jordan movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
Matt Damon. No, I did.
It's actually pretty good.
Right on. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. I think it was on Amazon.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's available. I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah,
to
it's
watch
not.
it.
It's pretty good.
And I mean, yeah.
Nike is one of those brands that it's weird that other countries don't pronounce it the way it's like said here because it came from here,
Just
right?
Nike.
They call it Nike over
It's
in the UK.
It's a Greek god.
Yeah.
Greek or Roman? Greek, I think.
I bet it's Greek.
Yeah.
But
It's actually Nike.
well, didn't Nike start in like Oregon too?
Yeah. In Eugene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, is Nike the same as Mercury? No. Mercury is the same as...
Mercury's the same as, not Mars, but, God damn it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Have to go home and look at my Dungeons and Dragons books real quick.
If only there was a way to look it up.
Yeah.
There is one interesting thing in that movie because Nike was always known as a running shoe, and then they were like, okay, we do a little tennis, we do a little golf, we do some of these sports. They were never known as a basketball shoe, and they wanted to break into the market, and you had to grab. As a shoe company, you had to grab a star player to come in and rep you. And Michael Jordan, when he was coming out of college, he was like the prize. If you can get this kid to come in and rep your shoe. So they built this whole shoe around him, let him help design it, and then made it certain colors. And I think it was red.
And black, and white.
NBA wouldn't allow him to wear that shoe because of the color. And he said, what are we going to do about it? They're going to fine me $20,000 every game or $10,000 every game if I wear it. And Nike's like, we'll pay it. We'll pay the penalty for you.
Yeah. Wow.
Because we want you to have your shoe with your
That's
color.
a part of their advertising budget.
Yeah, exactly.
And they get even more word of mouth about it. It's like, no, that was a good investment.
I mean, that was...
They really did that?
Yep.
No,
Well, according to the movie.
And he is Michael Jordan.
In the movie.
You know what I mean? Who's not getting behind that guy?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like...
Man.
Right?
Yeah. Boys, this one you probably see
Scottie Pippen's not
getting nothing. The worm. 1989, the Hersheys Kisses started the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," the Christmas bell.
Yeah, they still play that every year.
I think they changed it around a little bit.
No, it's the same video.
Same video.
Same video.
1989, the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." It says updated to HD and given slightly different variations through the years. The basic idea remains largely intact for more than 30 years later. But yeah, they probably still air the exact original one along with all the others. But it's just such a simple little...
it's right up there with the Corona Christmas tree.
They play that all the time too.
Yeah.
Where the guy is just a house.
It's a palm tree on the beach with Christmas lights.
Yeah. But I just don't really like Corona.
If I'm eating chips and salsa, it's really good.
Sure.
If I'm not eating chips and salsa and somebody hands me one, I'm like, what the fuck you want me to do with it? I might as well just go pour it in the toilet because that's something to drink is going to...
I mean, it's one of those things it adds to other flavors.
Yeah. No, it really goes well with lime and chips and salsa for some reason. I don't know.
It to me, it just tastes like cheap beer.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't like beer.
Never got into Dos Equis, though.
Dos Equis?
Yeah.
Well, you're clearly not the most interesting man in the world.
Is that what that ad campaign is for?
Yeah. I should have had that.
I don't always drink Dos Equis, but when I'm drunk, I'm drinking Dos Equis.
Yeah, and I watched a movie with that actor in it from the late 70s. Go Tell the Spartans. It's a Vietnam War era movie. And I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, where do I know that guy from? So I did the quick Wikipedia search, and he's the most interesting man in the world.
Jeez.
The actor. It's like,
Moving on up.
Todd will especially like this one. I never owned any of these. I don't know if
I did. I had a bunch of them.
The Micro Machines, because they had John Machita?
Something like that.
Junior.
Makashita, I think, or Masashita or something like that. Actually, when I was really getting into like voice actors and stuff, I added a bunch of people who are voice actors on Facebook, and he was one of the last ones I friended. He was a nice guy. Really cool.
He was the Guinness World Record holder as the world's fastest talker.
Yeah.
And he had a ton of commercials. He did commercials for FedEx and a bunch of others. But Micro Machines is the one that I remember.
I do not remember Micro Machines at all.
Tiny
Mini Hot Wheels.
But like not Transformers?
No.
But he was a Transformer.
Did he do that
He
too?
was Blur.
Oh.
He was the Transformer that talked really
the voice
fast.
was, yeah. But a Micro Machine themselves is like a micro.
It's just a small.
Basically, it was Matchbox, I think, brand.
All right.
But yeah, they were tiny little cars about that big.
Jeez, and they had television ads.
Yeah, and
How quaint is that?
He would stand in front of a huge diorama of Micro Machine toys and was picking them up and talking about them and like
It's just super fast.
All right,
really
all right.
fast.
Go. Look that up.
And he did a bunch of those commercials.
He did, yeah. I think he did those before he got onto Transformers, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boys.
Is my penis pump a Micro Machine?
I'm just gonna leave that one.
That was
guys will
his
remember
nickname
this.
in high school?
The precursor to the White Claw, the precursor to Zima, was the wine coolers.
Yeah, we've discussed this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember me and my buddy Dylan, Lake Chelan, were shopping. I think I was almost 14. He was 15. And we were shopping the Safeway aisle of alcohol, trying to figure out, what's the best deal? What's the best deal? And these two girls walked up to us, and they're like, "Oh, you guys need something?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, why don't you come with us?" And one of them had their sister's ID. They said they were 17, but one of them had their sister's military ID or some shit. But they ended up buying like raspberry, which I can't stand raspberry, Bartles and James. I'm like, what the fuck did you get this? So we went drinking with them. And I'm sitting there trying to... Because right?
Because
girls.
And alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting drunk on fucking raspberry Bartles and James.
Sweet.
And almost puked like 4 times.
So, have either of you seen that movie, The Stoned Age, about those two guys from Torrance, California, trying to get drunk, laid, and high? And there was like they had this giant bottle of schnapps. It was like mint schnapps.
It was like peach.
It was like, and every time they go, the schnapps, like that stuff makes me hork. That's what reminds me of that.
So gross.
Oh, youth.
But and the thing is I remember those things, and all my friends called them bitch beers.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. It's like you
As
just
far
buy
as I can
some
remember, there's been a version of that, right?
of some kind of wine cooler,
something, or it's some
Mad Dog, some kind of fortified
thing.
And
Sure, Ripple.
About 12 years ago, I was hanging out with some friends at a bar up on Capitol Hill that kind of looked like the Winchester from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
And
Canterbury?
Yep.
That's one of my old
15th,
haunts.
right?
15th and Roy.
Right not far from the Safeway up on the hill.
That's my hood right there.
But so we were hanging out there, and I went to the bar to get myself something to drink. And I'm not a beer guy, and I don't really. At that point, I hadn't really drank in a lot of, liquor and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'll get one of those Mike's Hard Lemonades, and I ordered it, and she goes, "Oh, you're serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't."
Yeah,
I don't like real beer. I prefer this because it doesn't taste like piss.
Is she trying to give you shit about it?
Yeah, she's like, I thought your friends put you up to it, and like you were, And she's like, oh, you're really serious. I was like, I like lemonade, and it's got alcohol in it. But why not? Now they have like 6 different flavors, and the ones I like now are the grape and the strawberry. So
man, yeah, I think the Canterbury is now closed. Last time I was up there was a sign that said "building for lease" or something like that. So.
Yeah,
it had been there for some time.
Oh God, as long as I can remember.
You remember Matzo Mamas?
Yes.
Which was, I think, pretty much kitty corner.
Yeah. Blocks was right there. And that's where I used to get the tuna fish sandwich with the dill pickle on rye bread. My dad always had to finish the sandwich for me, but I loved the pickle.
I bet it was good.
Oh, so good. So good. And Derry's gas station was right across the street, and that's like a big apartment building.
Your hood, bro?
Oh, yeah. It was like 4 blocks from there.
yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh, my God. Well, Bartles and James, back at the podcast, those ads ran from 1984 to 1991. It was 2 older gentleman characters, Frank Bartles and Ed James.
Bartles and James.
They were basically supposed to be based on Ernest and Julio Gallo, the winemaker.
Yeah.
They sat on the front porch, related their new discoveries or projects on which they were working, and were drinking what was the famous, didn't they have like a
cat
Tagline or
something.
something?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it'll get you naked behind the backstop.
The actors, David Ruffcour, died of a heart attack in 1996 at the age of 61.
Oh, man.
Too much Bartles and James, I think. And then Dick Mogg died of cancer in 2015 at the age of 83. But I guess they remained pretty good friends through the rest of their lives.
That's nice.
One of them lived in Eugene, Oregon for a Pacific Northwest tie-in right there. But yeah, he died in 96 at 61, which 91 was the last year they ran. So that would have been he would have been in his 50s, and we always consider them like these old crotchety men.
Oh my God.
Sitting on the front porch talking about their wine coolers, and they were fucking our age.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my
It's country
God.
years,
It's
though.
country.
Yeah, that's
Oh
good.
my God.
Country years.
I'm going to throw some slogans at you guys. You're going to know these off the bat, but I mean, these are just huge, right there in our consciousness slogans. But this Bud's for you. Budweiser used that for years and years.
Oh
and
yeah,
years.
no, it's huge.
And as long as it's not Bud Light, you don't claim to have.
The slogan. For,
Oh yeah,
The
that was
slogan,
before Bud Light even, right? Oh yeah,
the
before
slogan,
light
the,
beer.
the slogan for Bartles and James is, and thank you for your support.
That's what it is. I thank you for your
Interesting.
And thank you for your
Yeah.
support. Yeah.
Geez, have it your way.
Yeah, that's Burger King,
that was
right?
They
King.
still use that too.
Yeah.
That's on their commercials, but that has been around for a long time.
I've heard people say this is not Burger King. You cannot have it your way.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't want to grow up.
Toys R Us kid.
Toys R Us kid.
Maybe if I did.
I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Mike, what's the best part of waking up?
Not being dead.
The best part of waking up is not being woken up.
Yeah. It's actually Folgers in your cup with the flavor crystals.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck is a flavor
That was
crystal?
it. Not all Folgers has flavor crystals.
Or was that Taster's Choice?
No, that was Folgers for sure.
Was it?
We switched the coffee we usually serve. It's like,
The fuck you touching my coffee
don't dose
for?
me, dude. I'll stab you if you dose me. Don't fuck with me. I swear to God.
I think they did that to Red on that 70s show, and he was like, don't touch my coffee.
Oh my God.
And that was not just Folgers. It was Folgers something. Well, not Select, but
I don't remember.
Yeah.
My parents did Folgers for a long time. But they also did
I still
Maxwell
do.
House.
I do right now.
Yeah. I have Folgers at the
But
house.
lately I've been doing a chock full of nuts, which is a pretty cheap coffee, but it comes in a metal can. I've been
Chock
reusing
full of
it.
nuts?
I swear to God. That's the name
that's
of
the
the
name of
coffee. Yeah. It's decent. Get at my local Fred Meyer.
Fred.
Kroger.
Yeah.
Good to the last drop.
Yeah, Maxwell House.
Maxwell House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a huge brand at one point.
That was a
Yeah,
big
huge
ass
brand and just kind
all
of
back to
not
like
even
the
around.
30s
Yeah.
and 40s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
I think-
Edgar Bergen show was the Maxwell House
I think
hour.
didn't they also sponsor like the Flintstones as well? Because I remember
probably did.
Sure could've
remember
been,
there
yeah.
being a
Maxwell
coffee
House
commercial
tie-in,
for
yeah.
Oh, with the Flintstones?
with the Flintstones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Because, cavemen, they had.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing we talked about this too was the rumor is, or the conspiracy theory is that the Flintstones
it's
post-apocalyptic,
yes,
yeah,
post society.
and they are living on the ground, and above them is the Jetsons.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Clap on, clap off.
The clapper.
Who didn't want the clapper?
I actually built one in high school.
Oh, did you really?
That's neat.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was
It just like a switch that just
I
responded
mean, it
to
was
sound?
it was a PC board that I had to solder everything together, and when it was done, I mean, you could plug something into it and clap, and it would turn things on and off.
No,
But
that's-
the sensitivity was really weird, and the knob for it was very touchy. So you had to like barely move it for it to actually tune in properly. Otherwise, it'd be click, 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 on and off, on and off, on and off.
I remember my mom, God, I don't remember. We were still at the Capitol Hill house. So this is early 90s or very late 80s, she got one of those plug-ins where you could plug your lamp. If it was a metal lamp, you could plug it through this switch, and then you could touch the lamp and it would turn on and off.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
They had those at Radio Shack.
And I just remember being fascinated.
Yeah, I feel like maybe one of my grandmoms had something.
But that was like the easy version of the clapper.
That way you didn't have to actually clap. You could just walk up
The
and...
thing about the clapper that I always admired about its design is you could be in bed still and just be like,
This is why I like my Alexa, because I can do that with my Alexa. And it's like, I because of me missing my front teeth, I can't. Saying certain words is difficult, and Alexa doesn't recognize me saying off or on, because sometimes I'm lazy or I'm tired, and it sounds like off. So I'll have to say, I'll say, Alexa, Gizmo.
Yeah.
And it will turn the lights off because bright lights.
Anybody listening to this with an Alexa nearby, you're welcome.
Alexa,
play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
nice.
Alexa, fart 150 times.
Alexa, don't listen to anything I say.
Seriously though, you can ask your Alexa to fart, and it will do that. It will go.
Good.
That was a juicy fart. Would you like to hear a gassy fart? Yes.
Oh my goodness. We always kind of giggled at the clapper, though. This is the name of it.
Clap on, clap off, the clapper.
It was wildly successful,
crapper.
I think, right?
It was what?
It was wildly successful, I feel like.
I think so.
Wasn't it one of those Ron Popeil things too?
The Ronco stuff? No. But Ronco, he has that on here. He didn't really have slogans, though.
Nah.
But Ronco stuff was huge.
Yeah.
And then he did the rotisserie oven, right? He was
Yes,
early
he
on
had
that
the
one.
chicken, the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pocket Fisherman was the one that my brother wanted.
You can put them on our top 5 for tonight, which is the top 5 greatest pitch persons.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Go to ourtownpodcast.com and sign up on our Patreon.
Sure. Yeah, that guy was huge.
Yes, yeah, he was. Speaking of clap, though, kiss a little longer, make it last a little longer.
Double Mint,
Big
right?
Red. Yeah, no, it was Big Red.
That was Big Red.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it was the same company though, right? I love Big Red.
Yeah, Wrigley.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be.
Big Red
But
was.
I remember when it hit the streets.
Yeah.
It was
I remember
cinnamon
Big Red first got
gum,
it,
and I just remember eating like 4 pieces at the same time.
Yeah, because they sold those. You got the big pack of like 20 sticks or 18 sticks or whatever it was, and you would just be shoving it in.
So good, dude. Oh, we were kings. We were
It's like
kings.
how many cinnamon gums can you put in your mouth? And like
Until your mouth just starts getting all raw. Like my cheeks are so thin. Oh, and my cheeks. Time to make the donuts.
that was Dunkin, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And they had, I don't remember the guys, what not the actor, but the character was, it's like Mr. Wimple, but it wasn't
No,
Mr.
Mr.
Wimple.
Wimple was Sharp.
Yeah.
Mr. Wimple Sherman.
But there was a guy that was the Dunkin Donuts guy, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the guy that had a
Mustache and
name.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are, to work early. In his defense.
I don't remember too much. I don't know that we had a Dunkin Donuts really close to the house.
The only thing I remember as a kid there was like a chain restaurant of donuts was Winchell's.
Winchell's we did have close to the house, but Mom
we
was
had a
never going to
Dunkin'
get us.
I think Winchell's
It was Fred the Baker. That's what it was. Fred the Baker.
Yeah, I think Winchell's didn't Winchell's get bought out by Dunkin'?
It's a good possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jeez. Fred. Oh, Fred. Pardon me. Would you happen to have any?
So good. Oh,
Yeah, so ridiculous that there's these rich guys driving around making deli sandwiches in the back of their Rolls Royce.
Or somebody's making them for the rich guy. Hard to say.
And why isn't the driver asking and not the guy in the back?
Just because even the driver is not privy.
You know, it's
knowledge.
What's funny
of
about
Dijon.
that? What's funny about that commercial is it worked on my stepdad. My stepdad was like, "I'm going to try some of that because that sounds fancy," and he bought some of that shit, and they would never stop buying that stuff because it was The bottles were like
tiny
this
little
big.
bottle,
Little
yeah.
tiny bottle. And I preferred like regular French's yellow mustard, but they always got that fucking stuff. You know,
Grey Poupon.
Grey Poupon.
I
Gross.
say mix the two.
I like a little fancy mustard.
Yeah, no,
I don't care.
I do prefer yellow mustard in large quantities.
Yes.
I don't like brown mustard at all
I don't know. I'm not
because of
against
that
it.
stuff.
No, yeah, because I do like a little bit of spice in some things.
And the thing is a little bit of that stuff goes a long way.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, because it'll push other flavors out of the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bully flavor.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it.
Like
'Cause
cilantro.
I like to have the other
Eyes on you,
flavors on my
cilantro.
burgers too, or not burgers but sandwiches. Although a burger is a sandwich, I don't care.
Makes your bologna sandwich cost $25.
Yeah. How dare you?
It's like a relish without the chunks is what it was to me. It was gross.
Nice.
Relish without
The chunks. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows this one. Oh, yeah.
Oh no! Yeah,
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid man.
guy
Yeah.
come
Oh, yeah.
busting through. Because there's always a commercial, wasn't it? Like, oh, we're so hot and thirsty because we've been playing sports
It's
ball
also
all
like,
day.
at what point does Kool-Aid not have to advertise? Everybody knows what the fuck Kool-Aid is. Are they surprising somebody?
He had stiff competition.
I think what it was because back in the day, Kool-Aid was not the main brand. The other brand, which was Flavor Aid or whatever, the one with the little
The dude that looked jaundiced.
yeah, we had the cups. The different cup flavors had different different characters on them.
Kool-Aid was bigger. Was Kool-Aid the new kid on the block?
Yeah.
I don't-
And the
Flavor Aid, the kids considered Flavor Aid beneath them. You know what I mean?
Now they do, but back then, I mean, seriously though, Flavor Aid is what
Flavor Aid was the shit.
was what Jonestown had. It wasn't Kool-Aid.
No, it wasn't, but everybody just says it was Kool-Aid, but it was Flavor
That's
Aid.
because no one remembers Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God. Calgon, would you please take me away?
Take me away.
Yeah, and that was always some chick in a bathtub.
Yeah, it's also a good catchphrase.
It was
Yeah, remember
Calgon?
Calgon?
Was it like a powder that you pour,
Pour
into
your
the
bath.
to the
Yeah,
bath?
my mom had some lying around. I remember the smell
Before
of it.
there was bath bombs, there was Calgon.
Sure, it's the same kind of thing. Yeah.
It was like a
Just a
skin
perfumey
softening.
soap, yeah.
It's like Mr. Bubble
So,
for moms.
Yeah.
Cute.
Calgon, take me away.
Mom's just like,
I still use
I want
that.
15 minutes the fuck alone in a quiet house is what that says.
Go outside and don't come back till the lights come on.
Man.
Calgon is definitely one of the ones I use regularly still. It's like
me away,
if the wife
yeah.
comes up, she's like, oh, this and this and this. It's like, oh, fuck, Calgon, take me away.
Like Calgon's some demigod that we're doing ritual.
I got to go sacrifice a small child.
Hold on a second, Charles.
Calgon, take me away.
He's like, hold on a second, Charles is invoking me again. I have to go.
I got to go. Jesus, that guy again. How about this? Raise your hand if you're sure.
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was like a deodorant, right?
Deodorant, yeah.
I do the Air Extra Dry song a lot.
Yeah, and that was always they were like exercising or playing tennis or something, and somebody come out and be like,
And you see that in the beginning of the commercials, you see the massive, the swampy
sweat for somebody else.
swamp, pits. And they're like, oh, now I use this stuff, and look, there's no stains.
The San Francisco treat,
Yeah, right. I'm
Rice-a-roni.
Saltaroni.
big bag of rice and salt. It's like a week's worth of salt in one spoonful.
But it's good. I mean, it's
It's cheap and
it is.
easy.
But you can also
and
just buy
delicious.
like at the dollar store. You can buy spices.
Yeah.
Just pour that in your own rice.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And that way we can control our salt.
Yeah.
And what form it takes.
Jeez.
That's all. That's my argument.
Yeah, it's not a bad argument. Rich Corinthian leather.
Nice.
That was, yeah, Ricardo Montalban. Yeah.
And there is no such thing as Corinthian leather. It's not a real thing. It just sounded good.
It sure does.
Yeah, it sounds like
It's not a place.
it's not.
It's a fancy way of saying
Damascus
pleather.
steel. Yeah.
It's a fancy way of saying pleather.
Yeah, Italian pleather.
Yeah. Real.
Made in China.
Real imitation leather.
Oh my god. Taste the rainbow.
Nice.
Oh,
Is that
man.
90s or 80s?
I don't know
I
when
was
that came
90s.
out, but
I saw a photograph of a nice young woman wearing like rainbow socks that went up to her thighs. And someone put "Taste the Rainbow" underneath it.
Nice, yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, they've done some great commercials. I haven't seen one in a long time.
It's an industry.
I mean, it's
Where
the
they
only
study how
it's the
we
only
think
reason
and
to
how we
turn into the Super Bowl.
But now it's going to be turned over to AI, right? So it's not even going to be dudes on Madison Avenue, right? It'll be.
No, you'll still be dudes on Madison Avenue. They're just going to be typing in the prompts for what
Did
they
you
want.
guys see the news story on the Brad Pitt AI? There was a woman in France that got scammed because the scammer was using AI-generated pictures and videos of Brad Pitt, claiming that he wanted her to be his girlfriend, to leave her husband, and he was going to lavish her with tons of diamonds and other gifts, but customs wouldn't allow him to get them into France unless she gave him some money to get pay the import fees or whatever. She sent him like $155,000 or more. It was 700. It was like an astronomical
And you have to
amount.
turn it into Bitcoin for some reason. Got to send it to me.
Yeah. Target gift cards.
Oh, it's so shitty.
The thing
Con
is,
men suck.
Yeah.
it's well, the thing
Lying
is
is
with
bad.
the AI thing is all they need is like a 2-minute sample of you talking, and they can mimic you.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they showed some of the pictures from it, and it's like Brad Pitt in a hospital bed because the other thing is he had meningitis or he had cancer or some crazy
geez.
thing, and he needed because he was in a
that's
foreign
part of
country
the
and he
job, yeah.
couldn't get to his credit cards or something. So it's like, pay my hospital bills. She got scammed, so it feels bad. But when you fall for something like that, it's just like
But there's some master manipulators out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But the AI looked horrible. I mean, it looked like Brad Pitt, but it was just.
But if she's 75, a pensioner or whatever.
The thing is and I saw a video on this yesterday of like people who want to believe because they think the person that they were talking about like AI scammers taking advantage of MAGA, like they're all not too bright, and they show them like it. To an average person, this is obviously fake. This is not real. I can tell that Brad Pitt doesn't have 16 fingers. Okay, so and his eyes don't.
That's one of the reasons I love
The eyes don't move from the side of their face to the front of their face when they move. So
It's only a matter of time till it's really, really good, though.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely no constraints. It's just like, the industry has just done deploy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And without any kind of like rules of engagement, really. And it's gone too far. It really has.
And like these things have been around for about 15 years, but they're just now getting to the point where anybody can download an app on their phone or their computer and be able to do that.
Well, the generative AI models, they really not. I mean, the ChatGPT model that we're using right now is still relatively new.
Well, I'm just saying, like the deep fake stuff and the cloning of pictures and faces.
Oh, no, they were doing it. I mean, the picture of the guy who shot Kennedy.
Oswald?
Yes. A bunch of monkeyed shit. That photo's not real, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been going on for a long time.
And I'm just saying, like the deep fake stuff has been around for about 15 years, and it's just now getting to the point where anybody can access it. The programs that did it like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, would have cost you thousands of dollars, and I think Corel was one of the people that had that. They had the software. It was part of a giant suite of software. It cost you $1,500 just to have it a year or something like that. It was weird.
I don't know. Todd, you'll know this one. Now you're playing with power. Is that the NES?
That was the NES, yeah.
Now you're playing with power.
Nice.
Was that which version of that
It was just the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
Here in the States. Nice. The NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Mm-hmm.
You'll remember this one as everybody grabs for the toaster at one time. Lego my Eggo.
So good.
Did you guys get Eggos when you were kids?
I did at my grandpa's house.
Yeah.
My mom wouldn't buy that stuff, but my granddad always had like blueberry Eggos at his house.
Oh, there goes a Tesla pickup out back.
He's a timer truck.
I hear you can plug a toaster into them now.
I hear they can go underwater.
You could have limitless Eggos.
I saw a clip today and I actually reshared it on Instagram, but it was like 3 words, 3 words you'll never hear from someone who drives a Cybertruck. Ouch, not so deep.
Oh my God. Ba-bum-bum. This one was great, and I actually got a system like this. It probably wasn't the same one, but I got this from my mom when she was having issues towards the end of her life. But help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Remember the little old lady that's
Life alert, yeah. My
fell
dad
down
had
the
that
stairs.
I think they're a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
shit.
And it worked pretty well.
You can do that with the iWatch as well.
Yeah.
You can.
Can you sneak up onto one of your homies so that when he goes to bed or whatever, it'll go off and somebody will come and rescue him?
No, what it does is it, well, the one mom had it connected to her landline. So if she pushed the button, she had a speakerphone on, so it automatically, it would be automatic dial. What's the name of it? Hotels use them all the time. Anyway, it would automatically dial from your speakerphone to the operator system, and then they would come over the speakerphone. It's like, Mrs. Bressler, are you okay? And they would, ask and ask and ask, and if nobody answered, they would go ahead and dispatch a car or whatever.
Yeah, within 2 minutes.
My dad had one of those,
That's a
and he was
great
like,
idea.
I have to do this every so often because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. He hits the button, and they go, Mr. Sellers, I'm just testing to make sure you guys are still fucking working.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Paying for the privilege.
Yeah. Yeah, and it helped. She fell down, broke her hip,
Yeah, jeez.
and was able to call.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, no, I should get one of those for my dad.
yeah.
I'll put it right around.
Nice and tight. So it doesn't fall off.
Help, I'm falling. Don't touch me. Leave me alone.
Oh, my God. Boys, how many licks does it take?
Nice to get to the Tootsie
So
get to the center.
In the original one, the kid was voiced by Adam Rich.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
The youngest of the 8 is Enough kids.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And
Eight
That
is enough
totally makes sense.
to fill our lives with love.
Wow.
then they did a new one in the early 2000s when it was all CGI and stuff too.
How do you know
Had a
that?
robotic bird and shit.
Oh, where they were like,
How many licks? And it was like 1, 2, 3.
So good. And that's an owl, right?
Yeah, in the
owl,
original
yeah.
one, yeah. In the-
why was the little boy naked, though, in that?
No, he's not.
Yes, he was. Unless he's wearing all white. His white
I mean,
as his
it was
skin.
it was one of those. It was one of those like early.
butt hanging out.
It was,
No way.
I mean, it was like an Adam and Eve kind of thing. I think he was wearing a leaf.
Yeah, but they have Tootsie Pops somehow? It implies industry, which implies civilization with morals.
Oh, my God. I
They're
gotta-
naked kids talking to birds.
Yeah, where was the little kid? Yeah, he was naked. I don't.
Well, just because somebody's ass is hanging out doesn't mean they're naked. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. It was one of those.
I mean, how homoerotic do we need to get with your Tootsie Pop?
Why couldn't they just put a couple lines on
I
it?
just-
It
yeah,
looked like he's wearing
fill
a
in the-
sweater. Yeah, like, what the?
Give him a Charlie Brown sweater or something, man. Some chinos, jeans. I don't know.
That's where they cut the
some
budget.
nice slacks.
That's when they decided to cut a corner.
You know what? You know why he looked like that? Because he was wearing Jenkos. Remember those?
A little early for Joe's.
Oh, man, that's fucking funny, dude.
All right. Well, this one is one of the best known forever. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a
Sesame seed bun. That was a Big Mac. Yeah.
Yeah, geez. And do they still? I haven't seen a. Do they still do that? somewhere? It was. I've seen one recent within the last 5
For
years.
an ad for Big Macs?
Yeah.
I feel something. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Do they still run that ad? The 2-all beef?
No, I haven't seen that ad in forever.
Yeah.
Shit, I haven't seen Ronald McDonald in a McDonald's commercial in probably a decade.
Yeah. They need to bring Ronnie back.
I mean,
Busy running Ronald McDonald.
well, I think they got rid of Ronald McDonald because it was like they're advertising to children to eat junk food.
And they got rid of all the kids, or do they still have some that have a kids' playroom or anything?
They do have them.
Yeah, the one in the Highlands does.
The one over in Grady still has a play space, I think, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. No, the one up on Sunset does though.
No, Grady's dead. Yeah, no, Grady is small little restaurant.
Yeah.
But it seems like most of the new ones just seem kind of Soviet. You know,
Yeah.
kind of a weird tannish,
Very
gray
institutional.
tan. Like if you could suck all the fun out of tan.
Well, yeah, they took all the cartoonish stuff
All
out.
the special sauce out of it.
I remember back in the '90s, they had the stools look like the Fry Kids.
Yeah.
It was just a more whimsical time.
And the Fry Kids were like, sit on my face.
Oh my God!
Creepy Fry guy.
I mean, all of the characters for the Ronald McDonald commercials were really creepy.
Yeah.
And, I think
The burglar.
I think a couple years back we talked about this how Sid and Marty Krofft sued McDonald's because the characters were too reminiscent of.
Grimace looks totally like a. Well, they all do. They all look like a Sid and Marty Krofft creation.
I always thought Grimace should have sued Barney. You know what I mean? It's like it's a total.
I mean, no, they were out first.
Barney's a dinosaur.
Barney came out in the 90s. Yeah, Barney should be sued because Grimace was the original green or purple thing. They sounded like this when he talked. I love you.
I love you. You love me. We're a happy family.
You do that entirely too well.
I know. There's some voices I do really well. They all suck.
So, in the early 90s, the game Wolfenstein 3D came out. That was the very first-person shooter. There was a modified version of the trial, the shareware version of the game, where it turned all the random Nazi guys who would come out of nowhere and turned them into Beavis and Butthead. But then the boss of the first level was this massive Nazi dude. They turned him into Barney. So at the end, you're like, I love you.
Barney the Nazi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was called Barney Stein. Google that shit.
Barney Stein. Boys, strong enough for a man.
Made for a woman.
Made for a woman. Is that secret?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Secret,
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Another
they're
deal.
good at their job.
Yes.
This is, 30 years later.
Yeah, and we're still thinking about it. You deserve a break today.
Oh, sure.
That's not how it went. You deserve a break today.
Yeah.
What was that? That was
McDonald's. Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was McDonald's. Yeah.
We do it all for you. Yeah.
Special sauce
Yeah.
and all. I added a couple after I printed this, but I am stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid's stuck on me. You remember that? And they had like the kid in the bathtub or he was washing, and it wasn't coming off. But then when he peels it, it's like, oh, it's all good. Because I don't have arm hair yet.
I think I remember on an episode of the Clerks animated series, they said someone asked for a Band-Aid. Like, don't you mean adhesive strip? Because that's a brand name. We don't have brand names here.
No, geez.
Adhesive medical strip.
Yeah, it's one of those like Kleenex, right? That becomes
Yep.
the name of it becomes
Which
the
is always
product.
interesting.
Like Twitter used to be.
Yeah, kind of. And then finally, boys, what don't you leave home without? Don't leave home without it.
MasterCard?
I think it was American Express. Yeah,
Oh, American Express.
And remember Carl
Traveler's
Malden?
checks,
Yeah.
For the travelers, I brought some of those with me to India, though.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Did they work?
Fading into that, yeah, because, I had a debit card, but I didn't have a credit card or anything.
Yeah.
And even then, it was the days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not handing my shit over to every fucking clerk either. You know what I mean? Not a chance.
Yeah.
Were you running to the bank and getting cash to carry?
Yeah, or airports and bus stations often have a currency exchange.
Oh, okay.
Machines or whatever you get ripped off, or currency exchange people.
Yeah.
It's a business.
Jeez. Boys, some spokespeople, and I didn't do too many because these might show up in our top 5, but had to mention these. We talked a little bit about Mr. Whipple earlier.
Yeah.
He was played by a guy named Dick Wilson. He was also a character actor, appeared in many sitcoms in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, he was on,
Wasn't he on the Dick Van Dyke Show too?
no,
Or he was on
crap.
the one with the witch lady? Bewitched?
Oh, Bewitched?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But Mr. Whipple's a character that comes from a guy who's abused by Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, he's
on
always
Fibber McGee, I think.
like picked on.
Yeah, wah.
Yeah.
Sweetie's gonna,
Right.
throw me through a window and shit like that. Like, your old lady beats you up, dude. That ain't
Yeah, that ain't cool at all.
Domestic violence, man.
He played Mr. Whipple between 1964 and 1985, so
Wow.
over 20
I thought
years.
it went longer than that.
He appeared in more than 500 Charmin commercials, 500 separate Charmin commercials.
insane.
Don't
squeeze the Charmin.
And that's all
And that was so dumb. I mean, why?
Yeah.
What's wrong with squeezing the Charmin?
Right.
Do you bend the tube on the inside and it doesn't fit your spinner? What the hell?
Yes.
It was just a
And they-
clever ad that
I know.
Kinda.
stuck in your
But what
head.
was the-
And do you really need to? I guess there's a lot of competition in the ass wipe.
I think it's also kind of right up there with the people who fight over which way the roll should go,
Well, there is only one way.
There is only one way.
top or bottom. For me, it's over the top.
Yeah, I think everybody's over the top. If you are under the bottom, please comment below so we can make fun of you.
Yeah. So Chris is one of those.
Is he a bottom?
He's totally a bottom.
Chris, you're a bottom? Chris!
No,
We should talk.
when I first moved in, he goes, well, he gave me a pretty solid reason for it. He's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I prefer to go over the top. And I don't want to fight pulling the toilet paper out.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw a meme where it showed the original patent
Yeah.
for it, and it's over the top.
Yeah, and I showed him that too, and he was like, "No, I still don't like it that way." I was like, "Well, you don't have to use this toilet. You have your own."
Well, it's not I'm not gonna I can't use that then.
There's always leaves.
Yeah,
You can always hop in the. We could always get a bidet and call it good.
Yeah, use the 3-shell method.
yes.
First, explain how that does. You'll know this guy, Billy Mays here for. He was always yelling, but it wasn't super
This is
loud.
Billy Mays.
Yeah.
And he sold all kinds of shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like an
Until he died.
Until he died.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Oh my God! And then one of the greatest. And I don't know why insurance companies have so many cool commercials. It's fucking insurance. Flo, I have enjoyed immensely.
Yeah.
And she's been in
Progressive,
Progressive.
Yeah.
And it's like
She was one of the friends of the mom on the Goldbergs too.
oh really?
Yeah.
The actor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she's been like I love the one where it's like her whole family, but it's her and her sisters. Always that. Oh God, I don't care.
It's really funny. It's about 10 or 15 years ago. I was on OkCupid, the dating site, and there was a profile with all these photos from those commercials. I was like, why the fuck do you want to have her as your profile pic? So it's like, what if it's me? It's like, why would you use promotional pictures from your job on your dating profile? What is wrong with you?
I'd date Flo. She seems like a very talented person.
No, I was just like, what? No, use real. This is absolutely fake. Don't do that.
And boys, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the animals in advertising. And I thought of a bunch, and I'm sure there's a ton more out there. But I mean, like the Clydesdales from Budweiser, hugely just iconic, right?
I think most of these are from Budweiser.
Well, a lot of them are. Spuds McKenzie, that was either Bud or Bud Light.
Bud Light or something, maybe,
But he was the
It was a boxer, wasn't he?
No, he was one of the old school
Pit bull.
Yeah, but not a Staffordshire, the other kind.
English
Sheffield or
Bulldog.
something.
No.
No, he's not a bulldog. Because he's got
Because it's the same dog as from our gang or Little Rascals.
for a time.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, Spike.
The one with the ring
Spike
around.
Yeah.
McKenzie dog.
Well, same with the dog from our gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was always
Petey.
having a good
His name was Petey.
Petey?
That was the dog.
Oh, from our gang?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Spuds was always like in the hot tub with the chicks in the bikinis. He was at the party. Just always wanted to be. And then Stroh's beer, which I don't even know if Stroh's is in business. I haven't seen
I think
it.
Stroh's was an offshoot from Coors. Or
Oh, was it? They had Alex, which was like a golden retriever or something that was trying to do. It was like a ripoff, total ripoff that didn't work.
There's Petey the dog.
Nice. Yeah, do Spuds McKenzie.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a different kind of dog.
And both of those guys showed up in Tone Loc's Wild Things song.
Both those animals did?
Both of these, because, he's singing about the things. He's like, we're going to get, like, Spuds McKenzie up here, Alex from Stroh's.
That's part of the lyrics?
Yeah, it's part of the lyrics.
Did not know that.
Yes.
Stroh's. It doesn't still exist, right? That's long.
I don't think it. I haven't seen it. I don't shop the beer aisle that often, but I'd be hard pressed to probably
I
find
don't
it.
think so.
Affleck Duck.
Yeah, Affleck. Yeah.
And that's all he does.
Effective.
But it's effective.
Okay, so
I've got something similar, so if I get hit by a bus, my old lady will do all right.
How nice for her.
Yeah.
Spuds McKenzie was a bull terrier.
Bull Terrier, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, jeez. Relatively new, but Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Yeah.
Limu, Emu. And those are kind of fun,
And
I guess.
Doug.
But
They're kind of silly, but they're funny.
that's what I'm saying is all these insurance companies are trying to just be the
how about
crazy...
Yeah, who's the guy with the great ads? The local guy. Vern Fogg.
Oh, Honk for Bird Fog.
Yeah.
That was nuts. You can put that on your top 5.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
The guy who did that, his name actually wasn't Vern, but it was the actor who did it, who was one of the managers at one.
Yeah, he worked there.
Yeah,
right?
no, he did great.
And he
work.
died like 10 years ago.
Oh,
I
he
think.
died?
Younger than he should have.
He had cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they stopped making those commercials after he died. So
I just remember it was honk for fonk or something when you drive past.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
supposed to
honk by
or-
when you drive by Vern Fong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about the dude that is in the Chaos, the guy that was on Law and Order SVU for a couple of seasons, and now he's
the accident or whatever.
where he's always causing just mayhem.
Yeah.
He was actually a character in oh God, what is that? On that show about the lawyer mom and her son, something. His name was Todd. Either way, but either way, that guy who did the Chaos was like a friend of his sister or something, or they were used to date or whatever.
Oh, on the show.
Yeah, so he had a reoccurring role, and I was like, that's the guy from all this Chaos.
Yeah. I love those commercials. Geez. And then also with insurance, they had what's the guy from Whiplash and from Invincible and from
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, yeah, he's the yellow M&M.
Yes, he's also the Allstate spokesman for a little while, but I don't. Yeah, I guess he wasn't as kooky or quirky as.
I mean, he still does. He still was doing it up until a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah. Have you seen Whiplash yet?
No, I keep forgetting, but
Go watch it. Duke the dog, which I think is like Bush's baked beans.
Oh yeah, the dog from the bean commercials,
Golden Lab or whatever.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't remember bean commercial, and I eat a lot of beans.
Yeah, it's Bush's baked beans.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I do. I
With
remember
that one chunk of pork fat.
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's like pork belly. It's like bacon or whatever.
It's just one little.
But he's like, only Duke knows, but he'll never tell.
The recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you remember that? That's great.
I saw that recently too. I think.
Jeez.
Not a real animal, but well known. 1986 Chester Cheetah.
Sure.
They made an animatronic puppet out of him.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, it was really cool.
And I think that he's still a thing, right?
No,
Oh yeah, he shows up.
Absolutely.
He's on the
Cheesy,
packaging,
right?
Then the last one you have here, though.
Easy being cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of these were in comic, like the back splash page of a comic book.
Yeah.
So
Makes
it's the
sense.
high-priced ads. But Skittle ads.
Yeah.
The last one you have here, the guy called Gecko. You remember who the original voice was for it?
I don't.
It was Chelsea Grammer.
Oh, Kelsey?
Kelsey, whatever. Kelsey Grammer.
Because that was like
Oh,
late
Raisins?
80s, I think, when he started. 88, 89.
Because he sounded like Kelsey Grammer, and then at some point he started sounding British.
Oh, okay.
Because the original
Or
voice was
Aussie or something, yeah.
Yeah. What did I forget, boys? What other commercials stand out in your brains? Mike mentioned the Vern Fong stuff.
the local guy who had like the appliance store. We won't be undersold.
Roberts.
Yeah.
He had a shop here in Renton.
He did, yeah.
He did, yeah.
Something Roberts.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Yeah, we won't
Dick
be
or-
undersold.
Dick or Bill or something, you know.
Local and famous here in Renton, member of the city council for a long time. But
King and Bunny?
King and Bunny's.
Oh,
but
hallelujah.
I remember
Oh,
their
yeah.
commercials like, "Go to King and Bunny."
So good. Just regular people.
Yeah. It was
so
the big
good.
warehouse with the little store, and they're still up there.
Nice.
Head on
They
up
sure
to
are.
the
Oh, yeah.
Highlands and check it out. What other commercials? I mean, there's got to be something. That's
I mean,
in your consciousness.
go see Cal.
Go see
Cal.
yeah, he's
that's
on
in my top five.
All my top fives are like voice actors, so
Nice.
they all did commercials. Or,
Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal.
but the thing is, and I
Oh,
I
good.
thought he was local, but apparently he was also
No,
down in
we
California.
had Glenn Grant.
came up
Glenn
from
Grant
California.
Chevrolet, who looked
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
like my grandma Bessie.
Cal Worthington had dealerships up here, but he was also really massive down in California.
Yeah, I think he was started in California
yeah.
and then opened up some units.
Like
up
an
here.
interstate used car guy, nothing suspicious to see here.
Nothing at all.
Nothing to see here.
There's no cocaine.
No interstate fucking nothing. No shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
Oh my god.
Oh my God! Well, boys, sharing is a caring. Todd got up, but Mike, what have you been up to this week?
have I been up to?
Any new shows, podcasts, anything you've watched?
Geez, well, I'm still listening to Spooked and Snap Judgment, both of which are hosted by Glenn Washington, who really is one of the best radio people on the planet. Just a gifted storyteller himself. And Spooked is kind of the supernatural version of it, but they're just people telling stories. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah. So I listened to a couple episodes of that. Yeah, what have I been listening to? I was thinking the Bob Bailey years of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, which I think of the distillation of all the radio private dicks. That's the best.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And the Bob Bailey is the voice of Johnny Dollar, and those are the best years. Because it went on for like 17 years. And he's got probably 7 of them.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Bob Bailey's really good at that hard-boiled, quick-witted, hard-boiled.
You got to pick up some of those voices because we want to do the next. If you guys haven't seen it,
homework.
go watch the last couple holiday specials. We did the Smurfs this year, a very very Smurfy Smurfsmas,
Yes.
and then the year before we did the Star Wars holiday special, a radio parody. So go check. This year we're thinking about doing like a hard-boiled elf detective story where somebody's stolen Santa's
So Elf
naughty
meets
way.
Mike Hammer.
Basically, yeah. Todd, what about you? Sharon is Karen. Any new shows?
I watched the first episode last week. It is a new Tim Allen show. It's called Shifting Gears, and I think maybe I mentioned it last week, but I can't remember.
Yeah, you did talk about it.
Kat Denning, Sean William Scott, and who else?
I do like Kat
are
Denning.
those are all the main cast.
Is that the first TV that Sean Scott has done?
No, he was in Lethal Weapon.
Oh,
I didn't know there's a
Did he
TV.
come in and take over for the guy that?
Yeah,
he and
he replaced
Wayans?
the guy who got fired because
You're just
Damon
too old
Wayans.
for this
That's
shit.
right.
Damon Wayans didn't like him.
I just watched.
And it was really good when he was added to the show.
Okay.
I just kind of when I started watching, I was like, "This is great," and then it got canceled 2 years later.
I just watched, and I think it's the same guy. I watched the last like 2/3 of Cop Out. Kevin Smith directed. Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Same guy, right?
Sean William Scott. I don't think he was in that, was he?
isn't that Stifler?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's in Cop Out, and I just got to watch the last 2/3 of
I
it.
guess he was in there.
And I was like, I mean, it's okay. It's not Smith's best work. He didn't write it, but he directed.
It was funny, but it wasn't like
Wasn't
Clerks.
great.
Yeah, it wasn't like. I mean, it was the beginning of his questionable movies.
Yeah.
I think the last good one he did before that was Zack and Miri Make a Porno. That was
I did
fucking
enjoy
hilarious.
that.
That was
fun.
really funny. Yeah. I'm Oprah rich. Yeah. But
geez, boys, I watched on Amazon Prime, if you haven't seen it, Secret Level. It's an animated anthology series, and there's some really good ones in there. There's some that are okay. Which one?
Pac-Man.
The Pac-Man was crazy.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really liked the one. It kind of reminded me of Keanu Reeves, where he was the dude that was seeking revenge, and he was giving up a life so he could get to the boss finally.
Yeah.
Or he gave up like part of his age so he would rapidly age. Did you see that one? Yeah. So that was a great idea. It's like, what would you sacrifice to get your ultimate revenge?
Yeah.
And it was like he was a young guy turned into an old man because he had to give up like 10 years of his life every time he died and came back to life.
oh wow.
And
that was
still
good.
fighting.
Yeah, because they're based on video games. And the
Yes.
Warhammer one is great.
The Warhammer
It's like,
one
what
was
the
really
fuck
cool.
is going
What are
on?
we
But now
talking
I'm intrigued.
What are we talking about now?
It's called
Secret
Secret Level. It's an animated anthology series. It just came out like maybe this month on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Check it out. They're all like 10-minute
Yeah,
episodes.
they're specific video game themed, like
Yeah.
the Warhammer one, Pac-Man. Some of them I wasn't familiar with.
I wasn't familiar, but they're still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's high
The
quality
first one
stuff.
was Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, that was
good.
too. Ooh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm trying
The
to
other
remember
thing
some of the
is
ones.
I watched the season finales for both Creature Commandos and Skeleton Crew. Both of those
yeah.
are good shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Keep
any of
forgetting
those
about
yet.
Skeleton Crew. Yeah.
I know.
Skeleton Crew is really good. Yeah.
Been watching. It's a limited series on Netflix called American Primeval. It takes place, I think, 1859 during the Mormon Wars. But it's got Taylor Kirsch is in it. A bunch of actors you'd recognize, but you don't necessarily know their names.
Right.
But it's basically a woman wanted for murder, and she's trying to get to what she says is her husband across the Utah territory. But the Mormons are on a warpath, the Native Americans on the warpath, the American government's involved, and then you've got Bridger that owns a fort there, and it's all these factions, and everybody's looking for this woman, and everybody's at war. But it's brutal. It's a lot of violence, a lot of bloodshed, but it's a really well acted, very beautifully shot.
And that's the future that Elon Musk envisions for us.
Yeah, probably.
President Musk, yeah.
Just no rules for,
Yeah.
no rules,
Jeez.
man. Jeez, cool.
Yeah.
And is that the guy that was in John Carpenter of Mars?
I think, is that Taylor?
He was from Friday Night Lights or whatever.
Yeah, and this is directed by the guy, Peter Berg.
All right.
It's directed by that guy. Yeah. John Carter. or
John
whatever.
Carter, yes.
Yeah.
No, John Carpenter's
I don't remember watching. I know that movie exists. I know it was
I
supposed
saw it
to
in theaters.
be. It was
it's not
supposed
a
to be a
horrible
series of
movie,
movies, but it didn't do well.
No,
So
it didn't do well, but
But it wasn't
terrible.
horrible.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't
Yeah.
mad about it. And
I
do
think
like
they
those
spent
books.
way too much money on it, and that's why it was like, oh my god, it's such a flop. But
yeah, it's like watching was it Avatar? And it's like special effects were fantastic. Story wise, not so much.
Yeah, but it made like $1 billion.
It did
That's
because
different.
I mean they spent $1 billion on it, but thing is everyone asked. Did either you guys see the second one?
I saw the second one.
Yeah.
When's the third one come out?
It's like next year sometime.
Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
did see the second one, but I
27
couldn't tell
maybe?
you. The second one, to me, what I remember is like, oh, they've captured the kids. We rescued them. Oh, they captured the kids again. Oh, we rescued them. Oh, they captured the kids again. It just It was just this,
Did the editor forget that he already recorded? He did that part.
Yeah.
Yes, it just seemed like it was like, oh, we got the kids back. Oh no, then they fell into the hands of the enemy again. Okay, now we got to rescue them
How
again.
dumb are your kids?
At some point, it's just God's.
I mean,
just God's will.
I can't
How many
do it
times do you have to
anymore.
rescue?
I
You know,
just can't with you.
that's when you say, you know what? I already rescued you 4 times. I'm not doing it
I'm not
again.
doing it
Not
again.
doing it again.
You're gonna
Young
walk
man.
home this time because I'm not coming to pick you up.
But also, it's peril, right? That's the screenwriter. Well, they need to get themselves into peril.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, but the same peril
Yeah.
each time.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
is-
there's always a bigger fish when they're doing the underwater in. Is that not Attack of the Clones?
That was the first movie.
Yeah.
It was the. There's always a bigger fish, and they did that joke 4 times.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, maybe it was 2, but still,
But
it felt like 4.
more than they should have.
Yeah.
It was just like,
God.
it was not good.
Yeah.
George, I love you.
All right, well, ending this program
Oh.
on something positive, boys, as it relates to the theme of the show. Ray Bradbury said the average TV commercial of 60 seconds has 125 half-second clips in it, or 1/3 of a second. We bombard people with sensation that substitutes for thinking. So every
Bummer.
TV commercial you see, there's going to be just these little clips that just get into. I mean, we just proved it here. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't want to grow up.
isn't that why they made subliminal messaging illegal? Is because of stuff like that?
Yeah, but they
You
just they
will
got as
watch
close
our
as they
town
possibly
podcast.
can. Yeah.
And Charles, you should like have
our town.
Charles, you should have like little blips, like 2 or 3 second clips of our logo up on the screen.
Go watch past episodes. And then David Lynch, who passed away 78, we talked about that at the beginning of the show. He said that we think we understand the rules when we become adults, but what we really experience is a narrowing of the imagination.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good little quote.
Yeah, because having to do shit sucks.
It sucks. It sucks. Well, people, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making us the #1 podcast in our time frame.
Wow.
In Renton, even.
In Renton. We appreciate you greatly. If you're not a member, you should be a member. But if you're not, go sign up right now. Come back and watch our bonus round, which is our top 5 commercial spokespeople of all time.
Nice. And then we're going to have more. It's behind the paywall, our Sunday brunch meeting.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
We need to figure
We're
that
going
out.
to have more content coming at you.
Yes,
But
coming at you pretty
Yeah.
soon. Yeah. All right. So until then,
Yeah.
we love you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thanks.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, blogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.